good to have Michael back. Hey, everybody.
Yay!
Welcome to From Mother's Basement, the show that celebrates being a geek. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael. I apologize for missing last week, but when I went overseas, I went to Japan for a couple weeks, did some work, did some play, got married, um,
Yay.
and came back with one hell of a bronchial infection. So,
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
oh God, it was hell, dude. I went to the doctor on Friday, and he put me on codeine. He put me
Well,
on the cough syrup with codeine.
put it this way. Were you sick on the flight back?
Well, I didn't puke in it at any point when I was over there, but I was always like, just, it's a long story.
Okay.
It was pretty nasty. And then Nikki got sick too while we were there. In fact, everybody in the party got sick except one person.
And how much did everyone hate that one person?
I don't think anybody else really noticed besides Nikki and I.
But I'm glad you had fun out there. I'm looking at the ring. Is that what type of metal you have on that? Yeah,
Titanium.
titanium.
It's titanium with a carbon fiber inlay.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty spiffy.
Well, nice. So tell us about Japan. How was it aside from being sick? I know you had plenty of business meetings to go to.
It was still kind of awesome. I mean, we went to what used to be known as TAF is now Anime Japan. Or Japan Anime. It's referred to both ways. I think formally it's Japan Anime, but people refer to it as Anime Japan, which is the industry con. There was a business day that we went for. Yeah, it wasn't really a lot to offer. Spooja had their booth. Other companies had their booth. And it was strictly for business meetings. It was really kind of a microcosmic thing.
We're all here. We might as well do something.
I'm sorry?
It's basically, we're all here. We might as well do some business with each other.
Yeah, more or less. And then they had the public days, which we also had access to. I've got pictures. I'll have to show them to you at some point. But
okay.
It makes Comic-Con look mild.
Are we talking like in terms of craziness or in terms of crowds?
Two exhibit halls, the size of Comic-Con's exhibit hall. Okay, so they had the east and the west halls full, wall-to-wall bodies. Even Comic-Con on its busiest days was not this compacted.
Where was it at? Was it at Big
It was at Big Site.
Wow. They took up two of the huge
well, what's really funny is there weren't that many. I mean, there's more booths at Comic-Con than there is at Japan Anime.
Right.
But the ones at Japan Anime are bigger, and they, there's just the public days. It was a freaking zoo. It was crazy. But I got to see the giant Gundam finally.
Now I saw the pictures.
Yes, that is what I want for my birthday.
I don't blame you.
One of my friends asked me, where would you park it? And I'm like, I don't know. When it comes with a giant robot, it's pretty much wherever the hell I want.
Pretty much, exactly. I am envious if you're able to check it out when it was fully completed, well, with the surrounding location and whatnot. When I was there, it was still under construction, so.
Oh, dude. It was cool. It was
nice.
cool. So I got to do that. I got to go to Nagano for a night. That was kind of cool.
Cool.
Went to Kyoto. That's where we got married. Went to Nara and saw the bowing asshat deer.
Explain.
In Nara, which is the original classic capital of Japan. The deer around there have been around people so much, and they're so acclimated because they're protected species there that you're not allowed to harm them.
Okay.
So they've gotten used to people, and since a big thing about Japanese culture is you bow to people, the deer picked it up. So the deer will come up, they'll bow their head to you, and then you give them a cracker, and they'll bow again. And as long as you're giving them crackers, they'll keep bowing. The problem is there's different groups of them.
Okay.
And the main group, they'll do it a little. They'll kind of like do what they have to do to get it.
Just to get the cracker, yeah.
They'll also swarm your ass. Like there was one point where I had like 6 or 7 deer around me trying to get at the crackers. One of them was trying to nip at me. And they do this thing where they'll come up and they'll nip at you to try and get your attention to startle you to drop the crackers.
That's getting kind of creepy at that point.
Well, that's why we started calling them the asshat deer. I mean, not all deer were that way, but there were a few chunks of them, and of course, it was the middle of molting season for them. So you got all these raggedy, not quite zombie-esque deer.
I'm cute. Let me still give me a cracker. Yes.
Like your brain. No, but it was actually really cool though. And there were 50 plus easily.
I saw you were able to go to an onsen also while it was snowing, and
yes, that was up in Nagano. That part was
envious as all hell.
I'm just happy they let me into one.
Yeah, because isn't the whole thing is that they're pretty much against showing tattoos in public or in an onsen or. So are they more Western friendly?
I think part of what goes with it is, I'm gaijin, big white guy. I get kind of a pass on that.
Kind of, yes.
But also the fact that what I've got is obviously not Yakuza. I mean, if there's a Yakuza out there with Ryoko on his arm, more power to you, dude.
Yeah.
But it was a good trip overall.
Good.
It really was. Got a lot of business taken care of.
Very nice. So
can't wait to go back.
Lots up to looking forward to for TohoCon then, or?
Yes, for TohoCon. Nice. Did I formally announce that I was working it here yet?
I believe last time you were on, you did. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, now that I'm working TohoCon, we got a lot of stuff done. There's going to be some announcements coming out. We've put a lot of them out on the webpage already. It's amazing how when I go to the meetings, how much easier they go when I'm not repping a company that is pissed off every member of industry. And that's all I'm going to say here, because otherwise I'm airing drama. I'll tell you about it offline later.
And all I'll say is give it time. Every con screws up eventually.
Yeah, but as long it won't be on my watch.
Good point. Very good point.
So yeah, so that's that. But I got some other cool stuff. We went to the Pokemon Center in Ikebukuro, which is the biggest of the Pokemon centers.
Okay. And
they do this thing. Well, okay, so I posted a picture about, they say, heard you like mudkips? Why, yes. Yes, I do. It's a life-size 1-to-1 mudkip.
Oh, that is incredible.
So now if anytime anybody asks me if I like mudkips, I can send them this and say, why, yes. Yes, I do. And they also, they do this thing where they do this monthly Pikachu, and it's a custom designed Pikachu, everything. So I went in there first time. I went to the Pokemon Center a couple times. And the first time I went, I picked up these business cards and had a picture of a little stuffed Pikachu in a business suit. And it was Pikachu's business card. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And then like the day before we were leaving Japan, we went back. And they had apparently gotten them in.
Oh,
it's Pikachu in his business suit.
Complete with a suitcase that has the Pokeball symbol on
Pokemon,
it.
Serious business, yo. So we had to have this. I mean, this was just too silly not to get. We had to have it.
Oh, wow.
So between that and the Mudkip, we brought those home. They also had another one that we got for Jen. That's a Professor Pikachu. And we're pretty sure it was a girl Pikachu because it had curly braids coming off of it. But it was like in the professor outfit with measured rulers and quadrangles and shit. It was awesome.
Then again, it is Japan, so you never know.
Oh, that's true. You never know. But it was a lot of fun.
Nice. I'm glad you had a lot of fun there. I know you went
to go back.
Oh yeah, I need to find a way to eventually go back there. One of these millennia, I will go back. So, but yeah. Shall we get on with the what's going on this past week?
Do you want to start with comic, or do you want to start with what's on the list?
Let's start with comics. You have a nice assortment of comics in front of you. Correct?
Well, I don't have any to actually show or review at the moment, but just to bring you up to speed on some interesting stuff that's happened. Some of it was expected, some of it wasn't. Batman Eternal has ended its run. It was said it was only going to go for 52 issues. It went for 52 issues. It's over. They kept you guessing who was behind it the whole time. At one point you're thinking it's Ra's al Ghul. Another point you're thinking it's Court of Owls. Another point you're thinking it's somebody else. At one point it was even suspected it was Joker. I'm not going to say who it was, but they did a really good job of keeping you guessing till the very end.
Good.
Unexpected endings. Marvel. It appears that Marvel's ended Elektra. Her title, or the Elektra title's done. The last issue came out this month.
Was it like a closure of a story arc, or was it just one of those, and we're done?
I haven't read it. Nikki says that they did. It was a wrap up of a lot of storyline.
Okay.
And another one that's kind of sad to me, anyway, because it's one that I get, is DC's Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Really?
This month's issue is the last one. They're all going their own separate ways, which is kind of upsetting because I actually liked Red Hood and the Outlaws under Scott Lobdell. When it was during that time period where they had the other writer on it, I wasn't as impressed. It was kind of dumb, but under Scott Lobdell, I actually like his writing. So, and some people call me a heathen for that, but oh well.
I'm wondering if that has something to do with the upcoming convergence with the DC universe.
It's possible. It's possible. I can't say for sure. I'd have to look at. I can, if I find out, I'll let you know.
Okay.
From Image Comics, Sheltered ended, which is interesting because
Really?
Sheltered got optioned for either a TV series or a movie. I don't remember which. But it's an Image title, and it was really good. But it's hit the end of its run. Let's see. I got two more here. Iron Fist is dead. Now this is comics. Nobody stays dead forever.
This is true, and I'm wondering if this is in preparation for the upcoming series that's going to be on Netflix.
Well, yeah, but they've said that the MCU and the comics are different. They're not. While there's going to be a lot of parallels, they do not follow the exact same storylines.
Very true. I think it sounds like something similar to what they just did with Deadpool for his 250th issue. It's called The Death of Deadpool. He's basically claiming to be the first causality of the what's called Secret Wars, with the incursions going on, all different universes splitting up. The universe that the recent Deadpool series was in basically got clobbered, and he just died. So
it's entirely possible. Well, what's funny is Iron Fist appears to have been replaced by a little girl.
Come again?
That was my reaction. But it appears that Iron Fist's replacement, at this point anyway, looks to be a little girl.
Oh, okay then. All right.
Yeah. And here's the weird one. Here's the last of the comic updates. Lady Thor is definitely not his mother. There was a lot of speculation that the Lady Thor was actually Thor's mom.
I remember when it first came out, there was a lot of people saying that.
It's not. It's not his girlfriend, because it's believed to be she's supposedly somewhere dying of cancer.
It's not Lady Sif?
It's not Lady Sif. There's suspicion, and right now, basically what the old Thor is doing is he's going through all the women he knows, trying to ascertain which one it is.
Okay.
And he's been ruling them out one by one. The latest one he's investigating is a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Yeah, that was my reaction. A S.H.I.E.L.D. agent takes on the power of Thor. That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, and not to mention that'd be something that they could probably fairly easily duplicate within the MCU if they felt so inclined.
Well, speaking of the MCU, have you been watching? Are you current on S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I am current on S.H.I.E.L.D., yes.
Oh my God! What the F? Although I'm extremely happy. And it's kind of cheesy that he did it. I'm not surprised that they did it, but I'm happy that they did it. That they brought who back. That person showed up. Yeah. Makes me really happy.
Yes,
because I actually happen to like that actor. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it for comic news.
Well, one last thing. We were talking about it while you were gone. You said the other Image comic that just ended also got licensed for picked up. On the opposite end of another Image comic, issue 1 just came out a couple weeks ago, and before it was even released, it was already optioned for a movie adaptation.
Which one was that?
Chrononauts.
Oh yes.
Then again, it's also Mark Miller, so
Mark Millar.
So it's one of those that, okay, fine. I can understand you have a pedigree of series behind you that's actually translated fairly well to movies. So let's jump on this one while before the iron's even hot.
Have you seen Kick-Ass 2?
I have seen Kick-Ass 2.
I couldn't make it through all of it.
Really?
I'll give it one of these times. I'll go back and watch it again. But the part, it just got really lame. You went through the first half of it, or the first 20 minutes of it was okay, and then when she gets caught by her dad or guardian,
right,
and then it just got really lame after that for a while.
Yeah.
And I just kind of walked away from the movie.
I'll agree with you. Like, I loved the first movie completely. The second one did not hold my interest nearly as much.
Well, and the cursing, little girl who could kick your ass gimmick wore out fairly quick.
It did, and it makes me really glad, after the fact, that I'm kind of glad they did not decide to option for Hit Girl to have her own spin-off movie.
You know what? It honestly would have been better than the motherfucker.
Yeah, I would say that.
Because I'm sorry, as bad guys go, that one was really lame.
It's really lame. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But oh well. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll, we'll see what happens with. Have you seen Kingsman? As a side note,
No, I haven't yet. I'm hoping to see it come payday.
go see it. It is yeah. That's all I'm gonna say, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Oh yeah, no, I totally want to see that movie.
Good times. Well, let's talk about. We're talking about comics. We talk about movies. Usually, the thing that follows that, at least from my mind, is all the fan creations out there. Usually,
Which we've talked about in the past, many of which are getting really good.
yeah, they are getting fantastic. Specifically, a few websites that I've been following have started to make comments on is actually the Star Trek fan films and series out
Fan
there.
series, yeah.
We've talked about a couple of them, like the what was it, Star Trek Continues that we know several voice actors are
Right,
part
Vic
of.
Mignogna's on, Grande Mahara's in it, yeah.
You have a couple different individual movies out there, like of Gods and Men that came out. I think it was 2008.
With John Colley's crew, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the latest one that's gathering. Well, there's two that are gathering a lot of press right now. Is Star Trek
Renegades.
Axanar, which is they're trying to focus more on like the policies and stuff and focus more on the Starfleet. But the one that you were just talking about, Renegades, looks so good.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. But you'll notice that Tim Russ has a lot to do with it.
Oh, he does. He not only does he resurrect his character Tuvok, but he also directs this one
and writes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a co-writer on it.
Yep.
So it's really, I'm really glad to see these actors, getting into it enough that they want to. And it also brings them closer to the fans because it just proves that they are fans themselves.
Exactly.
I'm curious as to see where they're going to go with Renegades.
Well, the whole idea behind Renegades is that they don't want it to just be a fan film. When they finalize it, and I believe they've already done all the filming, and they only have like 20 FX shots left, and then they're done.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's done, they want to send it to CBS to try to see if they can use it as a pilot for an official series.
Oh, but didn't you see Disney bought Star Trek from CBS? Didn't you see the DevArt post on April 1st?
Oh, yes. And the throngs of people who freaked, and I'm like, check the date, see when it was posted. Oh, wait, yes.
Well, it actually posted a couple hours before midnight.
Oh, man.
Which gave to some people, and for about 10 seconds, myself included, gave it more credence.
You were just like, wait a minute, really?
Yeah, well, that's just like 4 hours. Wait, tomorrow's April 1st. It's only 10 o'clock. Well, it could be real. No, it's got to be a joke.
But a lot of people like yourself are basically gave it a moment of the feasibility of this is.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not impossible.
Yeah, it's true. But going back to Renegades real quick, you saw the trailer, correct?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I've also seen all of the other film this group did. Well, okay, John Colley's crew has 3 projects.
Okay,
they've got Of Gods and Men, which they've done. Then they've got Star Trek New Voyages,
right?
Which he's gotten the most original Star Trek actors on his thing.
Yes.
In fact, I've watched a couple of the episodes. They're surprisingly good and surprisingly true to the source material. I mean, he's had Walter Koenig on. He's got Nichelle Nichols. He's got George Takei's done it. He's got a lot of other old Star Trek alums that have shown up in his projects. I mean, Colley's got the reputation among as far as the fan Trek films go for quality.
Which makes me wonder that does Renegades hold a chance of actually getting picked up as a legit series?
I doubt it. I mean, it would be impressive if they did, but I doubt it. Only because I need to see it first, but I don't see. I mean, CBS or Paramount, because technically Paramount owns the overall license,
right?
But Paramount may look at it and go, "Hey, they just did our job for us," But in order to take rights of it and turn it into a formal series, they'd have to shell out a grip ton of money.
which I doubt they really want to do in the current.
Right. I mean, they could take 90% of it for themselves because it's their IP, and they're like, hey, you went off of our IP, we own it.
Right.
But some of the specific characters, and some of the storylines, they would have to pay for and make part of the official canon.
Not to mention, it would kind of be counterintuitive for them to try to go after making this into an actual series with the new version of Star Trek in the movies going on.
Well, no, because you can have original universe, old universe.
You can, but I'm wondering though if it's one of those situations where do we want to put all our eggs in one basket, or do we want to diversify and try to please the general fans and the geeks in two different factions?
Well, and there's nothing that says they can't do both.
Yeah,
I mean, you can have alternate timelines. It'd be really fun if you merge them.
Yes, that would actually be quite interesting.
That would be a fun thing to write, as long as you don't end up with Star Trek: The Perkening. Babylon 5 meets Star Trek, which leads to Iron Skies.
Oh God, that'd be hilarious. But yes, if you guys haven't seen Star Trek Renegades, you can go online, check their website, check the multiple trailers. The latest one that got released just this past weekend looks
pretty badass.
Yeah, I will say the virtual the VFX that they did, the acting. Can't say much about the writing because it's just a trailer. But
some of the acting's pretty weak. You can tell who's a professional actor and who's not.
Yes.
I mean, you can tell who's the fanboy and who's the actual actor.
Well, then here's the question for you.
It's like first, okay, just for a second.
Go ahead.
You can tell who's pro and who isn't. Case in point, John Colley's storyline, his Star Trek New Voyages series. He's got pretty good people who play the roles fairly well, except for their Scotty. Their Scotty makes Hayden Christensen's portrayal of Anakin Skywalker look downright Shakespearean.
Oh, Jesus! This was
that bad.
This wasn't Doohan's son, was it? Or that was a different one.
No, Doohan's son is on the series with Vic Mignogna.
Star Trek Continues, I think is what it is. Yeah.
So it's they need to their Scotty needs some work, but the other characters are all pretty good.
Okay. But yes, here's the question I want to ask you though. With where everything's at right now within all the Star Trek fan films out there, and how much they've grown in quality, at least in the VFX side than anything else.
Well, and the writing.
Do you ever think that there will be an eventuality where a fan film or series, or at least the idea, would be picked up for something actually canon?
For an existing IP, I don't know. For original IP, it's already happened. Original IP has been picked up. I mean, Undercover Brothers started out as a Shockwave animation.
Yes.
And then became a movie.
I know it's much more trickier with an established IP.
Right. With an established IP, you start getting, I mean, you have a legal quagmire that's difficult to navigate at best. I mean, because technically the company could say, "Oh, it's our IP. We own it all. Thank you very much. We're going to take it."
True.
But then there's still going to be lawsuits flying back and forth as to which part's original, which part's not, and yada yada yada. I would like to see it happen because there's some stuff out there. Like I said, there's some shows that have really good writing and really crappy acting. Then there's some that have pretty good acting and decent writing. Then there are a few like Gods and Men had pretty decent writing. I mean, it's not Shakespeare. I wouldn't say it's going to win an Oscar, but for a Star Trek film, it's actually pretty good writing. And the acting was pretty good overall. But again, you could tell who were the pros and who weren't.
Right.
So I'd like to see it happen. I'd like to think it can happen. I don't know.
I just feel bad for. There's that group in Argentina. They weren't doing a Star Trek fan film. They were doing a Macross fan film, and they had fantastic CG with it.
Oh yeah,
and they were working on that. But then I think it was Sony that came out and bought the rights, the movie rights, to make a live action film based on, sorry, not Macross, but Robotech.
Right.
They bought that away from what's his face's production.
Sony bought it from Harmony Gold.
No. The actor's production company that was licensed for a while. He was in he was the star of The Aviator. I can't remember his name. DiCaprio.
Oh, DiCaprio?
Yes, his
Okay.
production team was working on one for the longest time, and then all of a sudden Sony came out recently and said, "Okay, we're gonna buy the rights from you guys to make this into a live action adaptation, and they're gonna push forward with it." So
if they do it right, it could be pretty freaking awesome.
And that makes me wonder that in everything I've read about it, there is absolutely no mention of Harmony Gold. So it makes me wonder:
did their rights finally expire?
Did the rights expire, or are they gonna, is Harmony Gold gonna sit around and wait until pre-production's over and then sue the living crap out of them so they can get a part of the royalties?
Sony wouldn't let that happen. The American Sony production company, their lawyers are too freaking smart.
Good point.
They're not gonna let that shit happen.
So, oh well, we'll see what happens.
And besides, Harmony Gold, with the alleged Yakuza ties that Sony has,
yeah. And yet, this is also why we will never see Macross Frontier officially here in the States.
Oh god damn! I wish we would though.
I know
that series is so good.
I keep on seeing that they remastered twice this series on Blu-ray, and you could import it over here, and it even has English subtitles.
Yep, that's the only way you're gonna get it.
But the box set's $500 freaking bucks.
Yeah,
I can't justify spending that kind of money on it. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Trust me.
It's crazy. All right, well, let's jump from Star Trek to Star Wars.
Sure, gotta get both sides of the force.
Yeah, plus gotta get that little Disney part in there as well, because we're sponsored by Disney.
Disney owns us.
Yes, Star Wars has come out in every single format out there: VHS, Laserdisc, DVD,
Beta.
more than a few times, Beta. Wasn't it available on VCD in some countries for a while? Yes. Of course, the Blu-rays.
Episode 1, I actually got a copy of Episode 1 on a VCD.
Really? Nice.
Yeah. So I have it in a box somewhere.
But it looks like Disney wants to continue that process by finding yet another format. And it's one that's fairly common now: digital download. The downside to all this, aside from being the price, which is about $20 a movie, is that it's still the special edition George Lucas, I'm going to make everything shiny and add more stuff to it version. Not the original.
What's the res and the compression quality?
They haven't announced any of that information. Now that we'll probably be able to extract that information from iTunes and Amazon when it's released tomorrow. But again, where's the freaking theatrical version?
It's still out there. Them saying that they've lost the negatives is total bullshit. They're out there somewhere. Someone's got to print.
Yep.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not as I've pretty much given up hope on that fight.
Have you?
The special edition wasn't bad except for the storyline changes. I mean, the added effects did enhance it in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
The when they're going through Mos Eisley, they made it more filled with stuff. That was kind of cool, although some of the comic relief stuff was stupid.
Yeah.
But the whole Han shot second debacle, that was
complete bull.
That was complete bunk. It totally undermined the character, and that's why there was such an uproar over it. I mean, if they've then gone back and altered the alteration to where he's shooting first again, so I don't know.
Plus, also the other bits. I know everyone really hates that one scene of where they threw in Hayden Christensen's version.
Oh God, the ghost scene at the end.
The ghost scene at the end. I'm like, that made no sense whatsoever. And I remember seeing it in theaters and people bitching right then and there.
There was a cartoon when that came out, when they did the whole Hayden Christensen thing. Mm-hmm. There was a comic book talking about how Obi-Wan's his old self and Yoda's his old self, and the Anakin's his young self. And they're like, hey, wait a minute, how come you get to do that? And he's like, well, you get to go back to whatever, you can pretty much look however you want, at whatever point you think it was your physical prime. Like, oh, really? And all of a sudden, poof, Obi-Wan's the Ewan McGregor version. He's like, hey, this is pretty cool. And they both turn around, mouth agape, and there's Yoda all looking all like Fabio-esque with long flowing hair. He's like, yes, better I am. There's a strip club on Mos Eisley. Hot that shit we should. Yes. It's just fell out when I read that.
Oh, man. I got to find
Sorry for the
that.
bad Yoda impersonation, but still.
Please. That's awesome.
Oh, man. I mean... Realistically, as a ghost, why couldn't you look like any form you wanted to?
This is very true.
I mean, if you want to show up as Pizza Face, you could. It's
Pizza the Hut ate himself to death.
yes.
The only thing that's is going to grab at least some fans into spending all this money again is
Previews
all
for the
the.
new one.
Not even that. It's actually extra behind the scenes featurettes and commentary that they put together exclusively for the digital download. You can't get it on Blu-ray right now. Yeah, exactly. So if you want to get all this new features, you're going to shell out $90.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I can't justify that.
I've got it all on Blu-ray. I'm happy. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Oh well.
Though I'm gonna jump off the rails a little bit here. I found out an interesting piece of information the other week, and I think I tried to send you a link on it, but I didn't see you online, and by the time I did see you, I'd forgotten it.
Uh-oh.
Tron 3 is a go. They start production this year.
They've got Garrett Hedlund, and
he's the only one that confirmed at this point.
And Olivia Wilde is confirmed.
Oh, she is confirmed now?
She is confirmed. Good. And Kosinski is confirmed to come back to direct.
Kosinski's come back to direct, and obviously Boxleitner is not going to walk away from
what
this.
else has he done lately? So
he's done a lot of voice acting, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, that's
the question is, I don't know where they're going to go, and are they going to have Daft Punk do the music again?
I really hope they do.
I hope they do too, because that was some pretty badass soundtrack.
My only concern now is that all of a sudden, if this actually happens and it comes out, say in 2017, that it'll be, hey, look, Daft Punk, did the music for Tron 3. Hey, look, you can only listen to it on Tidal. Oh, Jesus. I hate exclusivity like that crap. But, I mean, have you read about this?
If they start shooting this fall, it'll probably be out 2016.
You think 2016?
Yeah.
Okay.
A year should be more than enough time for them. And it depends on how much, because with Korra in the world,
they have a lot to explain about
that. Other than to go back and get his dad, why would they go back to the grid? So I suspect there's going to be a lot of manifestations outside the grid thing. But Tron was all about the grid and inside the machine. So
my hope is that they bring back what was the villain from the first one? The MCU or
Sark?
No, the giant computer, the
MCP.
MCP, sorry, not MCU, MCP. They bring him back. He's created his own version of the grid, and they get sent into it to try to destroy him. Who knows?
Well, they've kind of hinted at that, or they've hinted that Sark went in.
They did hint at that. There was that extra bonus feature featuring the MCP talking
to Dillinger Jr.
So there's a number of options they can go, and I'm worried that they only put all these bits in there to appease the hardcore fans while they go off in a completely different direction.
They may do that, but I mean, they've seen Nerd Rage firsthand.
Yes.
So. Let's be honest. The hardcore fans of Tron are passionate.
Let's use that word, passionate. Yes.
Back at scene 23 on the 22nd frame, the Pac-Man was actually in this position, but on the 28th frame, it was over here. Can you explain that?
Yeah, a wizard did it. Oh, man.
It's supposed to be Inky, Blinky, and Clyde, but instead you got Inky, Blinky, and Wacko and Yakko. What's going on here?
I do have to say that for that new Pixels movie,
I'm curious about it, but at the same time, I'm afraid of it.
I do have to say, I remember talking about or posting some misinformation about it. A lot of sites were claiming that the professor at the end, was it Iwatani? I think it was
Iwatani, yeah.
Yes, that person is actually the creator of Pac-Man.
That is the actual creator of Pac-Man.
But that scene in the movie, all these websites were stating, "Oh, that's actual Iwatani." I'm like, he looks really good for being really old. Oh, wait, no, it's played by an actor. Shit, I said wrong information. So yes, I was wrong, people, which I usually am.
But it should be a fun show. I will probably see it on Netflix or something. I don't know if I'll go in the theater for it or not, because the idea is just silly, stupid, but fun.
Oh yes. Well, how about this? There is an upcoming movie that I think you actually will want to see in theaters, and I know I definitely want to. It stars Pierce Brosnan, but he's not 007. He's kind of
No,
like the anti-007. He's an assassin slash bomber.
what's the difference between this and November Man?
The person he's
Because
chasing.
November Man was basically he was had hints of Jason Bourne, and he was an old.
Yep. I would say the only well, there's a couple difference. One, the person that he's chasing after is Mila Jovovich, so she can at least put up a fight. It's directed by the same director for V for Vendetta.
Interesting.
So,
is it based on a comic?
I think this is original IP. I haven't found any information other than this trailer. It actually looks pretty cool.
So then run that bad boy.
Playing.
So he's the actual bad guy.
Yes.
Okay, that's a twist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a twist.
So this one, you may or may not have to go see it in theaters. When the announcement came that it was actually picked up by an indie distributor for the United States theater chain, it'll be released both in theaters and on demand on the same day, May 29th.
Ooh, that's dicey.
Yeah. So
that's dicey.
Why do you say dicey? You think it's not going to do well because of that, or
I think it's going to damage its theater intake.
Well,
theater
talking...
intakes as it is have been going down.
This is true,
and a lot of people blame that on. They like to blame it on piracy, but it's actually more how quick it comes to DVD, Blu-ray,
right.
How fast you can get it on demand.
Right.
The fact that a first-run movie will come out and 2 months later it's out on DVD, or sometimes as little as a month later, while it's still doing a theater run, it'll come out on Blu-ray.
Right.
It's
well, given the fact that this is actually being distributed by an indie company, it's not going to have that wide of a distribution as far as like major theater chains go. You'll probably see it like, at the Downtown Independent in Los Angeles and maybe a couple AMC theaters here and there, but I couldn't imagine this getting such a wide release that anything more than like 1,000 screens. So, but in any case, if you had the choice, would you go see this in a local theater, or would you just, play it on your TV
all
at
things
home?
being equal, I'd rather see it in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
I like the theater experience.
I agree with you completely.
As long as it's not what I first saw John Wick in, I like it.
I liked John Wick though.
I loved John Wick. I loved the movie. I hated the theater I saw it in the first time.
Oh, okay.
I went and saw it a second time when I took Nikki to go see it, and was able to actually enjoy it without my seat rattling all over the place.
That's right. You saw it in that 4D experience.
God, that sucked ass.
Well, at least if you wanted to, you can watch it again from the comfort of your home without everything shaking around for only $1.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that segue.
That was a nice segue. I like that. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm actually contemplating buying the Blu-ray on it. So.
I'm tempted just to rent it for a while. What we're talking about, if you go on Amazon right now and you have Prime, you can actually stream in HD John Wick for 99 cents. We have no idea how long this deal is going to last, but it's one of those, if you haven't seen it before, this is a very good way to spend $1 and enjoy just some random action.
It's actually some really well choreographed action.
It really is, and
the action scenes in this thing are
having
pretty awesome. And some of the reactions and the motions are a lot more realistic to what one would do.
Yes, but I will say,
for example, he believes in double tap. I'm down with that.
Yes, I have to say, Keanu Reeves, when he goes back to doing movies like this, where it has a very thinly veiled storyline that doesn't get in the way of the amazing action sequences. Do more of these. They're fun.
Oh, yeah. No, I'd love to see. It begs a sequel.
It does.
Hopefully, they won't kill his puppy again.
Jeez, yeah. But I got to say, for that movie, there was even with a very thinly veiled storyline, there was a lot of world building in there.
Oh yeah, there was
all the stuff in the hotel, and yeah.
Yeah.
So a sequel could most likely happen, and let's face it, Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise and a couple other people, just because you're over 50 does not mean you can't, pull off a really badass action flick.
Keanu's not over 50.
Keanu is 50.
Is he? I thought he was younger.
Keanu Reeves is 50 years old.
Wow.
Doesn't
look it. Does not look it.
I mean, he's doing moves for people though half his age were.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, they need to pull him into the next Expendables movie is what they need to do.
Oh, God, that'd be amazing. But then again, you also, like I said, Tom Cruise is trying to push everything to the freaking limit. Like, you've seen the new Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but with Tom Cruise, you got to understand, any movie Tom Cruise is, it's Tom Cruise showing that he's the best at.
Yeah, that's true.
War of the Worlds was proving that he was the best at becoming becoming the best dad he could after being a deadbeat dad. Right. Top Gun, he was the best pilot there could be. Mm-hmm. Mission Impossible, he was the best spy he could be. Few Good Men, the best lawyer. I mean, if you watch his movies, it's all about him proving he's the best at stuff.
Yeah, he kind of has that hard on for doing that. Yeah. Before we get to what our usual wrap up, which is what we've been watching, I do want to share something that was just released just earlier today, and it was by Lego, and it kind of took me for a loop. This was.
Are you going to run the full 5 minute thing?
The 2.5 minute one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Enjoy. Lego Dimensions. Lego and Warner Brothers are going after Skylanders and Disney's Infinity.
That actually may be something I get into. I don't know.
I'm kind of with you on that because when Skylanders was announced, I went, no, okay.
I was thinking, see, when you first showed me that thing, I was thinking, oh, great, it's the Lego movie sequel. And then I saw the game systems listed. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, okay, so Skylanders came out. Okay, fine, whatever for kids. Okay, that's smart. I
actually bought Skylanders. It was pretty fun.
Okay. I never got into it.
I'm looking to sell it, but apparently the original series figures are going for a fair chunk of change. But and I've got a lot of them. But.
I know with the Disney Infinity stuff, they had some things that were tempting, Frozen, but
or the Tron suits.
Yeah. It was never enough for me to truly just dive into it. And then I see this, and I went, God damn it. I'm extremely tempted to pick this thing up in late September.
I've been wanting to get back into building stuff with Legos, too. I just don't have the only thing that's stopping me, honestly, is room.
And with this, it's all virtual, so... Well, mostly, you get to build the portal, which is, I swear, their take on the Stargate. But
yeah, it does look kind of. I was thinking that exactly because in the longer form version of that thing, where you actually show him building it, and at one point he goes, "Honey, I think I opened an interdimensional portal. Just don't throw anything in it." Okay.
And what does he do? Throw a piece of Lego into it. But this one, it looks to be fun. At least the trailer makes it look to be a hell of a lot of fun, and just the sheer amount of IPs that both Lego and Warner Brothers have, license for, or they own themselves. This could be huge. I mean, they've already announced several expansions that'll come out shortly thereafter the release on September 27th. Aside from being available on practically everything, the Xbox One, PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii U, there's also all the expansion packs, including different characters, different vehicles, different lands. Like, hey, look, you can get this level pack for all of the Back to the Future stuff, which includes Marty McFly, the DeLorean, and a hoverboard. Mm-hmm. The problem with all this, it gets, like any collectible stuff, it starts getting pricey down the line. I mean, yes, I think this would be amazing to have play this scene.
Is that Gollum?
Yeah, this looks like Gollum with the Wicked Witch chasing Marty McFly down the yellow brick road because reasons. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But the base setup is going to be $100.
Ouch.
The level expansions are going to be anywhere between $15 to $20. An individual character can run you $10. this can get very, very expensive.
Oh yeah, very spendy, very fast.
Then again, same thing with Skylanders, same thing with Disney Infinity.
Yeah, but Disney Infinity doesn't start, and Skylanders don't start at $100 for the start set.
Yeah, good point.
It's the usual 60.
Right. But makes me wonder though, because Lego has made games for both DC and Marvel. Are they going to touch that at all?
Well, and that's what I'm curious about, because I mean, with Lego Movie, they actually managed to bring in the Star Wars franchise for a Warner Brothers movie.
Right.
That must have been fun to negotiate. I would hope that they can.
I mean, we'll say they can.
Because the Lego Star Wars games are a hell of a lot of fun. The
that
originals,
they are, yes.
I mean, they were silly and stupid, but they were fun.
But that was the whole thing about any Lego game in particular, was that it was a different way, definitely a different take on the original source material, but at the same time, it was still so much fun, and it hit the nostalgia point very hard for many people.
And it tells enough of the same story, just with silly. It just makes it as if Monty Python had written it or something,
And the first couple generations of those games, they never had voices; they just mimed everything or had voices.
Well, have you played? Yeah, exactly. They didn't have voices. Have you played the Star Wars Episode 1 version?
I have it. I haven't played it.
If you get a chance, play it and just start killing Jar Jar over and over and over and over and watch what happens.
Okay.
There's an Easter egg in there.
Nice. Let's see who they announced as well. They're going to do a Lego Ninjago team pack, which makes sense because that's their own IP. Yeah. 2 DC fun packs with Wonder Woman and Cyborg minifigures. Lord of the Rings fun packs with Gollum, Gimli, and Legolas. The Lego Movie fun packs with Emmett, Bad Cop, Benny, and Unikitty. That's right there. I need to buy that one.
That's pretty fun.
The Wizard of Oz fun pack, and a ton of more stuff for 2015 and 2016. But yeah, I could see having so much fun with something like this.
Is there a PC version of that? Have they said?
Unfortunately, I'm not seeing a PC version.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's the same way with that, but at that point, it's Lego. Do you really need to have like the latest and greatest,
I may need to break down and get a PS4 by then. I don't know.
We'll have to see what happens with that. But yeah, this information came out earlier today. We wanted to share it because it's awesome. So, and if anybody has ever played with Legos, this will probably at least get you interested in what they have to offer.
Totally.
So, well, Michael, I know it's been a while, but what have you been watching?
Oh, I've been watching all sorts of things. I've now seen both of the first 2 Hobbit movies.
Nice.
I'd watch something on the plane to Japan. I've actually I'm current on all my shows. So I'm current on. Are you current on Blacklist?
I am.
Oh my God! What the hell? I want to see where they take that tonight. I'm current on Flash.
Well, let me ask you.
What?
Let me ask you something on Flash real quick. Mark Hamill returns the Trickster. I think he did a fantastic job.
Tell me that's not a Joker takeoff. I mean, that's almost Joker.
It was almost Joker, but you could tell that he kept the laugh at a lower register, because if you went high, it would he's Joker.
It totally would have been. Yeah, it totally would have been. But and you could tell he was also having a hell of a fun time.
Oh God, yes, it looks so cool.
Yeah, no, I was really happy.
And all the Star Wars references.
God, yeah.
Oh, I saw that. I watched that on the big screen at WonderCon, and they're in the arena. And everybody was just rolling in the aisles on that one.
Yeah, that was a fun thing. I think the last episode of Blacklist was season finale, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
I mean, they left it that it could have been.
Right.
Let's see. I actually started watching a couple new things. I'm almost current on Archer. OMFG.
Get current, and then after you get current, I will key you into.
I've made it up through Ep 5 of season 6. Okay.
I'll have to key you into the ARG that they made.
They made an ARG for Archer.
For Archer, basically all these little bits and pieces that were found throughout the past season started linking towards all these different websites and whatnot. So.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, there's one website. Sorry for on a tangent. There's actually that allows you to download all the ringtones that the characters use in.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can have your phone go mulatto bus.
What I want to get the one thing that, because I basically, before we left for Japan, I marathon season 5, so I marathoned Archer Vice.
Okay.
So we're going around Japan going Outlaw Country, woo! You know? Okay, I went around saying that. Sorry, I just got corrected. She did it a couple times too, but she won't admit it. Anyway, so yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I started watching a new series just today, actually.
Which one?
Called iZombie. It's based on a comic, on a Vertigo comic that's already finished. It's actually kind of interesting. You know, the idea of zombie show, I'm not a big zombie person. I mean, Walking Dead did not grab my interest. I tried to watch it and I just was after, just didn't grab me. This one's actually kind of curious. The premise is this med student who's in her residency goes to this party on a boat and something happens, people go nuts, and she ends up they get attacked by a zombie and she becomes a zombie, but she retains her sensibility. So as long as they eat brains on a semi-regular basis, they stay intelligent and stay more or less together.
Interesting.
But there's a side effect. She starts having visions of the lives of the people whose brains she ate. So she starts getting some of their memories, but also she gets some of their skills. Like in the first one, out of the blue, she starts speaking Romanian at this person.
So she's a real life Kirby, or
effectively, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
She's Kirby the zombie.
Kirby the zombie, okay.
But it's actually proving. I watched 3 episodes so far, and it's actually not that bad. I may actually have to give it credit and watch more of it. What about you?
For me, I finally recently renewed my Crunchyroll subscription. So it was like, wow, it was like a half a season, if not more, of all these stuff I haven't watched yet. Let's marathon everything. There are a few things out there that I think you would like. There's a number of short format shows that have gone out this season that are freaking hilarious. One being Comical Psychosomatic Medicine. And it's literally each episode is only 5-6 minutes long. And it's basically a psychologist and a nurse comically going through a ton of real life mental issues, mental problems you could have, and how you can, hopefully resolve them, how you can fix them, how do you diagnose them. But they throw their own humorous anime twist to it has so many in-jokes. If you've watched anime, you will get almost all of them. They're freaking hilarious. There's only 8 episodes out right now. The other one I started watching that I was told numerous times to check out. Oh, bloody hell.
Have you watched Concole yet?
I watched the first 6 episodes. I'm still behind.
I'm kind of... part of it's also homework because that's part of what we cover at TohoCon. But I've watched the first 5 or 6 episodes, I think.
Okay.
Right up to the point where they split off and then become a new crew. I'm kind of mixed on it for reasons we can discuss in another show.
Fair enough.
Because there's some interesting implications and some of the stuff that's happened with some of the dojin and stuff that's kind of scary.
Okay, I kind of want to talk about. Well, we'll talk about it in another episode because that actually sounds quite interesting. A series that just started that caught my attention was called Sound Euphonium. Mainly, it's people look at it and go, "Oh, it's K-On!" Not really. It's girls in high school playing instruments, but they're all like brass instruments, and they're playing in a concert band, an orchestral setting. And so, I mean, when the main character is playing a euphonium, and one of the side characters is playing a giant tuba, try to make that as moe as possible, and they somehow found a way.
They moe a sousaphone? Wow.
They yeah, exactly. Even has a little tiny mascot too, Tuba-chan. I'm like, what? Or Tuba-kun, sorry.
Wow.
But the one I'm really getting into right now is called Gourmet Girl Graffiti. I know the first season ended. It's 12 episodes long. Jess and I have been watching it. We've watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes so far. And it's just a sweet little slice of life series about these girls and their experiences cooking. And you actually can learn some things from it, which is hilarious. I love when you get something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple dishes that they showcase in one of the episodes that I'm really interested in trying to make myself. And they actually go through the recipe during the episode, which is hilarious.
Nice.
But the funny aspect to it is that every time they start trying these dishes out and they start eating them, I swear these girls are having some sort of sexual experience with it. It gets to that point. I'm like, okay, this is Japan being Japan. Okay. We'll get past this
foodgasms?
Yes, basically.
Okay.
So that's just a taste.
I may or may not check that out.
They have it's a taste of what I've been watching. I know next week I'll have to marathon by that point Daredevil, because that comes out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So I was wondering when that was coming out.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow on Netflix, all 13 episodes. They did release a new image today. Here's, Matt Murdock, him as the daytime lawyer. Here is his, I'm going to fight everyone in my black everything that I could find in my closet.
My thug uniform, yeah.
And then they finally released earlier today how he looks in his actual uniform.
That's interesting.
They're going for that same MCU you can't go with the skin tight fabric. You have to go with the padded armor thing.
Well, padded armor makes sense.
Yes, it does.
That's the helmet I'm curious about.
Yeah. The fact that I actually
expect someone here, Transformers, roll out. It's just
if I hear
like an Autobot.
If I hear Peter Cullen anywhere in this series, I'm going to laugh my ass off. But there's already a tie-in to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of the characters, some of the villains that they had earlier on, tie in with Daredevil. So hopefully I'll be able to watch some of that next week and give you an update about what to expect from it.
Okay,
so.
We'll talk about it after the show, but I have something about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I want to run past you real quick.
Okay. But that's pretty much it for what I've been doing lately. So, and I think it's going to be wrapping it up. Do we have anything else to add for this episode, Michael?
Just the formal announcement that
yes.
We are recording this on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Because life has proven interesting to all of us, we're basically going to move the show to Thursday nights because Sunday has been proving more and more difficult for both of us to coincide.
Yes.
And I get off at 8:00 anyway from work on Thursday. So we're moving the show to Thursday nights at 8.
Yeah.
California time.
So we'll do the live show at that time. We'll still be recording it, and I'll still have it posted on the YouTube page every Sunday. So if you miss out on the live, you can still catch it on YouTube.
But if you want to watch it live, it's going to be Thursday nights at 8 going forward.
All right. And I'll make sure to make posts about that online everywhere, so people who didn't catch this episode, they'll know and be prepared for next week.
Sounds good.
So, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out as always. Michael, I'm glad you're back. It's always fun doing these episodes with you.
It's good to be back.
Hope you feel 100% better by next week.
Well, I'll be hitting the cough syrup with codeine, trust me.
Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. And for my mother's basement, I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And we will see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.